When I was a mother, I was a child. He used his pinky fingers to slide long pieces of hair behind his ears, because to use all his fingers to slip the strands behind, he said, was something a girl might do. I've always been a girl doing things a girl might do, like skirt bleached tines of blonde behind my ears, using all my fingers, beginning with the thumb. When you learn to play piano, you learn each finger has a numbered name. You teach it to find middle C, but when skirting hair, it is there to cup the ear, barely touching and curve, preparing for the pointer finger number 2 that finds a D 1 note above. Near the ear, the thumb is the first to find bleached tines and press them gently behind. 3, 4, 5, the fingers follow. E, F, G, middle, ring, pinky, pulling in last and only to lift itself above the others, like playing tea parties sipping from an invisible cup. He couldn't remember how to spell my name, but didn't ask, just ended it with a Y. Like it didn't matter that at 4 years old, I cut with a stick each letter into the side of my mother's minivan. He wasn't there, of course. He was 14 years older, so 18 then, as I carved my name, and in 1 year he would hold my first girl, who is not mine, although she is barely his. He could barely remember how to spell her middle name, and when asked, pointed to there being too many girls to remember each letter, but her middle name has only 4 different letters, and my first name has only 5 different letters, and the piano has 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All he had to do was fucking ask. His 4 daughters have a mother his own age, and she too had a hard time learning my name, remembering me best as your father's slut, which was perhaps fitting, but I was 17 and the word fit differently in my mouth then, like something given instead of something I could own, and it wasn't anything I asked for. So I thought about this when I wasn't having sex with him at 17 because I wasn't yet 18, as if the sun rose differently on my body and the way I understood my body in the world that day that made it different and better for him to touch when I woke up 18 instead. I thought about this. When I woke up next to the youngest daughter at 4 years old, her back to my back and her body curled like a middle C and her limbs sweaty from our closeness, and how she loved me with her arms around my neck when I woke up, and how she and her sisters asked me to play her favorite songs. I loved them best I could, but I've always been a girl doing things a girl might do, like trying to love girls best I could, because that is how you say sorry to girls with fathers afraid of what a girl might do. When I woke up 9 years later at 26, I started running to the top of small peaks where no one came, where I could hear my name spelled out right into the sky. And at the bottom of a small peak, he once jumped from a moving car because I wouldn't say I love you, because he couldn't spell my name, because there were holes in walls and broken hinges even when I used his name spelled right, and because once he found a free piano with an ornate piece of wood missing from above the side arm, and he spent $250 to have a new piece crafted by someone's hands who didn't know how much $250 really was for us, so I told him he could have bought anything else. And his arms fell in, and his head hugged against his neck. So I said thank you. And the piano was perfect, and sat adjacent to the door he kicked in later, where I was hiding from his hands, because to love him meant forgetting my name until, at the top of small peaks, I cut it spelled right into the name, into the side of the sky. Thanks.